Jackson Alvarez, co-founder of Electric. So most of you today, when you're on your way to the event, you're probably stuck in traffic, most likely behind a box truck that was delivering to a grocery store. Sorry, there you go. To a grocery store, or a van that was delivering Amazon packages to a house, or a shuttle bus that was taking people to their destination. So those are commercial vehicles, the lifeblood of the city. And it's, there's 330 million of those in the roads today around the world, and less than 2% of those are electric. And if you own one of those fleets, it's really painful to maintain those and can be extremely costly. In fact, for a fleet of 20 medium-duty trucks, which is very common among small and medium companies, it can be upwards of $5 million to operate over 10 years. That's because of the high fuel costs, the maintenance costs, and the disruption whenever there's downtime on these vehicles. So we work with fleet owners as Electric and partner with them to take those existing vehicles and upgrade them to become 100% electric and connected vehicles. So we get to give them the experience of owning an EV without the upfront costs or the struggles of acquiring a new one. That means zero emissions, that means better driver experience, and most importantly, up to 60% of cost reductions of those operating expenses. Our solution is half the cost of a brand new one. We do conversions in a week and targeting 2-day turnaround. We provide fast charging that can do charging in less than an hour, and fleet intelligence so that they can get the most out of these vehicles over the life. We expand the life over 10 years, and we have best-in-class reliability because we work with the best manufacturers of batteries, motors, and electric components around the world. And we're not scaling by building expensive factories that take several years to bring up. We're working with those same service centers, working with our customers, so that they can do those installations inside their service centers, as well as servicing these vehicles. So we do regional warehouses, so we can build these kits in a crate and drop ship to these installers. And we're building a virtual factory so that we can connect all these service centers and make sure we have the same consistency and quality no matter what service center does it. 1,000 of these service centers doing 100 vehicles a year is capacity of 100,000 vehicles annually, which is equivalent to $8 billion of annual revenue. And we don't stop at the kit or the process. We understand very much that the opportunity with EVs is to have smartphones on wheels. So we leverage the over 100 sensors that we have on the vehicles, the telematics, and the data on the battery and the motors, so that we can provide better value over the life of the vehicle, especially when it comes to maintenance. Being able to predict maintenance, being able to predict the life of the battery, being able to provide a tailored experience for each vehicle with remote commands, and continue updating the vehicle over the life of it with over-the-air updates. None of this would be possible without the amazing experience of our expert team, over 130 years of combined experience building EVs, delivering EVs, commercializing them, billions of dollars of know-how and lessons learned of what to do, but most importantly, what not to do, which is why we've done the model that we're doing, which is really resonating with fleets in the US and Mexico. So building an EV truck in a service center seems kind of crazy, but in 2023, we partnered with Anheuser-Busch and showed how we can do this. The third truck we ever built as a company, we built it inside their hub center in Mexico City, taking a 15-year-old truck that they were given for dead, it was going to be scrapped, and instead working with their technicians so that it can become 100% electric and smart vehicle. We did that in 2 weeks, and it's been operating with over 2 years, and it's one of the best performing trucks that they have. So we built a strong foundation to scale, and it's showing out in numbers. Last year we did $1 million in revenue. This year we're closing with 3, and we have contracted revenue to do 12 next year, at least. We're positive gross margin today, which is not many players can say that in the industry, and will be profitable by 2027 with less than 500 units deployed. This is impossible with a more traditional model that we've seen with major players. We've raised $7 million to date, and have an open round of $15 million, $10 million equity, $5 million debt, so that we can scale this throughout major cities around the world. We're partnering with some of the biggest players in fleets, but we also work with medium and small companies. We have ecosystems backing us, and now we're looking to take this and scale it globally. So if you have fleets that you want to convert, you want to be a partner in installation or service, or you want to be part of this round, please come talk to me because we're scaling this, making electrification and conversions more accessible, scalable, and most importantly, reliable so that they can lean on this and start decarbonizing our cities. Thank you very much. I was trying to escape the questions, but just kidding.
Who wants to ask first? Thanks, Jackson. Just a quick question. When you're working with the service partners, I'd be curious to hear more about how that works in terms of the business model or the partnership. How long does it take to train them up to be able to use your kits?
Yes, so we've taken a three-phase approach, which the first thing is, having technicians build this instead of engineers. So we've completed that last year. So now we have technicians in our location in Compton doing this. Now we're building this process so we can start scaling this in service centers next year. And that means we're starting with pilot with some players when it comes to doing on-site training, but also do 1 to 5 builds on-site with them so that we can ease them into that onboarding. When it comes to technicians, this is a big opportunity for attracting new talent into the industry. Technicians is the biggest bottleneck in the industry when it comes to acquiring and retaining talent, but this cleaner model is really resonating, and we're training technicians as quickly as 2 months for them to be able to do installations by themselves.
And how do you view the business model with them? Is it sort of like a revenue split per truck?
Yeah. So they can do get revenue from the installation. So we have carve out an installation cost. Could be about $5,000 to $7,000 per vehicle, and then so they can see that as a revenue stream. But they can also start doing service for those vehicles, extended warranties, and overall, when it comes to our digital experience, being able to upsell some of those features. And many of them already work with fleets, so they can become sales channels as well and have commission or markup based on those sales.
Great, thanks.
Hi, could you clear up for me, how does the electrification work on site? Does the service, so would you work with the service providers to get that electrification started to charge the car, to charge the fleet, or?
When it comes to the charging side?
Yes.
Gotcha. So a lot of this, we're focused on urban use case. So it's trucks that are coming back to the same place they leave. Level 2 is very common in this. So a lot of these buildings already have capacity for up to, if you stretch it up to 10 vehicles, but most of the time 5 vehicles, so they can use the same capacity they have in that building, and we can use level 2, and we can use some innovative software that some companies are doing out there to balance out the different chargers and optimize the way it works. But that's what we're doing right now when it comes to that. We are also working on some of the bigger players so they can do fast charging. You don't need the 150 kilowatt, 300 kilowatt, 50 kilowatt, and even 30 kilowatt can be sufficient to have many of those chargers charging multiple trucks at the same time. We're talking about 10, 20, or 30 trucks or more at the same time.
That's cool, thank you.
Hey, Jackson, thank you. Can you talk a little more on the technical aspect of things in terms of the battery size and range and
Yes. So
any specifics on the actual applications like short haul, long haul? What kind of applications is that solution appropriate for?
yeah. So we're mainly focused on urban use case. So on average, you see trucks doing less than 100 miles inside cities. Some of them, can get up to 200. Some of them can get down to like only 30 miles a day. So we're really working on those fleets that are doing about 100 miles per day. We have two solutions: standard range and long range. That standard range can go up to 120 miles, and long range can go up to 150 miles. And we're also working on some extended range solutions so that we can add more batteries for those where it makes more sense.
Thank you.
No problem.
Happy to chime in here for the question. It's great to see the progress that Eve Electric has made. As you think about year round and how you're thinking about your strategic growth, where and how do you think about that sort of scaling and growth taking place? Is it sort of in just the expansion of the digital manufacturing facilities? Is it really through people, investments into your existing facilities?
Yeah, I mean, there's three pillars to where we're growing. One is the compatibility with different type of vehicles. So we're now expanding to class 6 and 7. Right now we're class 3, 4, and 5 on our current kit, and being able to be compatible with more brands. So that's one part of it. The other part of it, and the major one, is a virtual factory. Really refining that virtual factory so we can have real-time tracking and traceability on every component, every step of the process, in real time, and really leveraging the onboard software to make sure you're doing all those quality checks, eventually introducing machine learning and even AI to automate a lot of that. So that's on the virtual factory side and being able to expand that workforce development. And then the third pillar is really on the intelligence on the vehicle. There's a lot of smart features that can be applicable to non-conversions, and that can become, that's really the future of our company. The sky's the limit to how much we can do, leveraging the data on the vehicle, off the vehicle, predictive analytics, and again, ML and AI that can be introduced, and bringing that back to the embedded software that actually controls the vehicle, and how you tie that to the charging, the financing, the insurance, the extended warranties, the service. All that is a whole, the sky's the limit there. So yes, we do start as a conversion company. We need the Trojan horses of those vehicles, the actual hardware on the road. But the future of our company is more on the digital side.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jackson. Up next, we have Josh Douglas from CPTI. Welcome, Josh.
Great. Thank you, Dan. Hello, everyone. I'm Josh Douglas. I'm co-founder and CEO of CPTI, and we are unlocking energy from any surface. So for a city like LA, it's a big city. It's a bit sunny on days that aren't today. Over 7 terawatt hours of energy via light hit the surface every day. That's 100 times the use of a city like LA, yet we capture almost none of it. We are solving that problem at CPTI. So I'm preaching to the choir here. Mobility is increasingly energy constrained. We are pushing our vehicles farther, smarter, batteries can't keep up, yet from the light that we're able to capture, the energy around us, our current solutions like silicon are very inefficient, and they are produced in unstable markets with heavy supply chain risk. At CPTI, we make modules like this one to unlock extra energy. So what we have here is one of our modules, which there's no battery. The light that you see up top is just light that's around us in this room. So we're able to harvest hundreds of watts from any square meter. We can make modules like these bespoke to the application, make them transparent, make them flexible as needed, and we can do so with a fully domestic, resilient supply chain. So this module is made out of perovskite. It's a next-gen solar material where we can tune the band gap, we can tune the wavelength of light that it responds to, such that we pick up much more energy than current solutions. This works in full sun, works in cloud, works even obviously inside. And this also can be done, it's a nanomaterial, so we can integrate this with less than 300 grams per square meter of added mass. What does this mean for mobility? Really, we do want to apply this everywhere. We are very serious. We can put this on buses, save thousands per year in operating costs and energy. We can put this in bus shelters to make them resilient, make them stand alone off the grid. Obviously, we can apply them to EVs. We're working with a customer now to do that, where as an owner, you can extend your range by 10% or just simply not have to charge your vehicle at all. These materials have been in the works for quite some time now. We are working with the world-leading researchers and applying our own IP to bring this about, to pass the thresholds for device for mobility, which lets us then work up into larger form factors. We have been around for only 11 months, and yet we already have 2 paying customers, both dealing with mobile devices, and we have a pretty big pipeline of customers across mobility, across Edge AI, across devices. One that I want to point out is Cap Solar, that we're going to partner with to apply our components to windows of vehicles. So we can make this transparent, and we can harvest energy from like a car window. So we're very excited about working with them, and we're looking forward to adding more partners to this in the very near future. We know that this is a huge market that we're targeting, solar. It's a multi-$100 billion market, but we are starting with applications where our technology makes sense now. So devices mobility will help us scale into different regions, into different form factors, such that we can tackle this massive market that is grid scale solar. We have an N of one team. My co-founder, Vivian, is an exited founder who sold her last company to a major player in the biomaterial space. So she understands what it takes to build a company, to bring world-leading research to market. I have a background spanning engineering at Apple to operations from places like Sandbox AQ and Bright Machines, talking to the market, translating technology, making commercial sense. We also have Michael Kai, who's our first investor and also an employee, who's ex-Foxconn, who's worked with leading supply chains across mobility and devices to make great hardware. I do also want to point out Yang Yang, who's a professor at UCLA. He's the chair of their materials department, who is a leader in this perovskite space, and he is a great help for us, giving us the best chemistries. Lastly, we have Gary Chen, who's an advisor and soon-to-be VP manufacturing post-seed, who's established hundreds of megawatts of solar building capacity right here in Riverside. To close, we are raising a $5 million seed to meet our customers. We've raised about $820,000 so far from angels as well as SOSV, who backed Vivian's prior startup. We are raising this seed with customers in mind. We want to bring on more pilots, convert our current pilots to revenue, to POs, and to establish a bench scale line right here in the US to help meet our customers' needs and further improve our unit economics. And that's it. Thank you. Yeah, sorry.
I'll go ahead and kick off. I'm curious, you all are relatively new to the space, Sullivan Minds, but could you just talk a little bit about what your competitive landscape looks like?
Yeah, definitely. So there's a lot of different other photovoltaic modules out there. Generally, though, you can think of them as two categories. One are outdoor photovoltaics like silicon, like cadmium telluride, that work only in head-on sun, but they fail once they go in a cloudy condition or if they're at an off angle. We also have organic photovoltaics, or ones that work in those low light conditions, but start to degrade outside. So really, we're the only company that's applying these kinds of modules to all settings. You can think of it like a mixed use, all weather photovoltaic.
Just curious, and do you all have proprietary technology for you, IP protected?
Yeah, so we have process IP that's a trade secret. We also have some patents that we've licensed from the National Renewable Energy Lab to make this fully recyclable, to make this even more eco-friendly. And we're also doing some own patenting on core pieces of our technology.
Thank you.
Is there a specific reason you chose mobility as the first industry to go into?
Yeah, one is that is cool. That's a joke answer. The real reasons are twofold. It's for unit economics and also for technology. When it comes to unit economics, we are very determined to build a business, not to be some research lab that's operating at a heavy loss for the next 10 years. We're able to make modules like these at a price point that we can sell to mobility customers and be break even. So we're able to produce at a cost that makes sense. And we also have a lifetime that makes sense as well. So one of the challenges with this kind of component, perovskite, has been lifetime. It's been stable on the order of about a year or so. We are utilizing the world-leading perovskites when it comes to lifetime. So at about 10 years now, this can last. That unlocks mobility applications where you aren't really tethered by to the grid as you are, like, say, in grid-scale solar. So our tech is ready when it comes to the economics, but also when it comes to the performance.
Okay, so would you say, in relation to other technologies that exist in the mobility landscape, perovskite performs better, both on like price and like time?
Yeah. So what I will say too is that when it comes to current solar in mobility, you obviously see solar on some bus stops, on some vehicles. You do see it. Where we see the biggest opportunity is in new market creation. Is where you can, and we are serious, we can turn any surface into energy. And so when you have, say, a bus that wants to run farther, rather than having a bigger battery and weighing it down, you can integrate this at the top and get extra energy. So we do see opportunity when it comes to market creation, not just what we're competing against.
Thanks, Joshua. Does this come with energy storage type of integration?
Yeah, so we do want to be very bespoke and custom to our customers. So for some customers, we are integrating energy storage into our modules, into our components. But for some customers, they just want to operate during the day, and so they don't need that storage. Or if they have storage already, we do believe that, especially with the whole market creation point, that this is a very custom, frankly, a very personal thing, that we are making these very custom components. And so that means that we will meet our customers where they are. If they want a battery, then great, we'll do a battery and a custom chipset. If they don't, then that's great too.
And thank you. And a follow-up, can you walk me through a little on how it works during cloudy days and what kind of efficiency you get in actual numbers, if you can share any?
Yeah, so can I go back? Okay, cool. Oh, yeah, cool. Okay, so actual numbers. So we harvest less energy on a cloudy day, but we still harvest a meaningful amount. So as we note here, on a given, say, meter by meter square, we are harvesting about 270 watts on a given sunny day surface. If there's clouds, that drops to 30, which may not sound like a lot, but that's often a meaningful enough amount to power devices, to recharge a battery, and so on. How that works is that we can adjust the wavelengths of light that this responds to. So if you think of current photovoltaics like silicon, they have a fixed indirect band gap. So you can think of it like they only respond to one wavelength of light, which is a fairly high energy wavelength. And so when it gets cloudy, those wavelengths start to disappear and get absorbed by the clouds. We can work around that. We can take up that entire spectrum to capture energy that silicon can't.
Thank you.
Hey, so this is a quick one. So I guess I'm a little confused. Are you more B2B or B2C?
Yeah, so our core business is B2B.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. Okay, and so doing B2B, do you see yourself scaling to like governments or like partnerships with city agencies? Like, how are you thinking of that?
Yeah, again, we want to meet our customers where they are, and anybody who's passionate about great technology, we do want to work with. We are starting with enterprise customers, as they generally move quicker than government, but we are starting to talk to some folks in government now who are excited about, again, this for urban installations, urban environments. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Josh. And then our last panelist will be Shahram Fahardi. From NSense AI. Welcome.
Okay. Controls. I think you went all the way to. Yeah, let's just go up. Okay. No. Just go forward. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm excited to tell you about what we're building at NSense. So think of if you had any questions for the real world, for the streets, you could just ask a system and get the answer, just in the same way that you can query the information of the internet if you were able to query the streets. And we're building the technology to collect multimodal data at it every day, every street, every address to enable this. So just think of the internet for the streets. So right now, when you look at the state of sensorization and connectivity of streets, it's very poor in the sense that less than 1% of any area of the streets has a continuous sensor coverage. The best that we have is Google Street View, which is only images, and it's updated once every year in more crowded area and once every 10 years in less crowded. So what we have been doing at NSense is think of ways that we can collect this data effectively at scale and then make it maximally useful. Our technology has two sides. The device that you see on the left that we call SenseBox has a form factor of a license plate frame. So think of an array of sensors that sits around the license plate. And we have audio, video, air quality, weather, and other type of sensors as part of this package. This device gets connected to Uber cars. They just go around, do their daily business, and we get this data passively. It turns out that this is very scalable. With only 10,000 units, we get daily data across urban US. Okay? So what you see in the middle is our small operation now with few of these units in LA. And what this gives us in terms of AI is you really are stepping up LLMs to give them street level data to give you grounded answers using the data that is very close to real time at the scales that is important. And I think the significance of AI has been unlocked through LLMs, and that's thanks to the internet text that we've had. But that's only 500 terabytes of data. Think of what we can do if we collect street data at scale every day. It's going to be in petabytes, so massive infrastructure required to collect, train. But then we will unlock a new generation of autonomy in these public places. We're going to be much closer to the infrastructure. We're sensing the infrastructure. We're detecting problems in real time. And also, as far as the environment and climate goes, now we're talking about actual measurements that are at scale. So instead of reacting to a problem when it gets severe and we have complaints, we are being proactive in that. So instead of waiting until there is a certain uptake in hospital admission for a pollutant, now we can get early signals to intervene. And I mean, we're really building this as more of a horizontal platform, but with wide range of applications. But when you think about mobility, one of the use cases that we're really excited about is that we can be this forward deployed network that gives you a real-time map for the AV operators. So let's say if today there is a heavy fog in Santa Monica, maybe an autonomous car operator shouldn't send their vehicle there, or whatever concerns they have, they could get with this fleet that we have. And then the other aspect of it for the city management, city monitoring, given the limits of the resources, what is this thing that I need to respond to today? What are the most immediate things? What are the hazards that I can go take care of on my road network, on the neighborhood that essentially are paying the bills? So the team is myself. This is my second startup. And I have a co-founder named Michael Trudeau. He is the ex-head of strategy of Google. And then we also have Dr. Shapiro, ex-JPL, which is helping us to think through the possible sensing technologies we can bring to the platform. And then we are raising a $2 million round. We got 2 term sheets and so 1 million is filled, and now we're actively pitching for the rest. And essentially the idea is to go from this limited number of deployments to a more saturated network in LA, and then build out on the AI a bit more so we can start answering deeper questions, like if someone in the city planning wants to say what's the most effective heat management strategy, is it trees or shades, we can mine this data and give them a data-driven answer. And then we would love to talk to you, anyone who is interested in the new data, new challenges that you're facing that we can solve. And that will be all of our next year, essentially, to do this partnerships, extend on what we've been doing, but really take the data to the customer and solve real problems with. And yeah, with that, I would like to thank you for your attention.
Shahram, thank you. So I have a couple of questions. You may have to reiterate some of what you said.
Sure.
So you guys have you're developing a tool, a data management tool, and you also have the sensors that you're
Yes.
building?
Yes.
And then you mentioned you use the data to intervene with various applications. So how do you do this? Like, how do you intervene? If that's the case with you in particular, your company, or is it that you're partnering with others? Are you engaging with first responders, or what is the structure there?
Yeah, we are not the action company. We are the data and intelligence company, if you will. So two technology stacks that we have. One is the hardware, which is the assembly of sensors. That's just hardware for the data. And the product out of that is the data APIs, if someone wants to use that. So let's say Zillow wants a better noise map, they can get it from us. But on top of that, we're also building this AI, which we call Enki, which you can really think of it as a ChatGPT, which has access to this unique data. And that could help you query, analyze the data for users that are not wanting to do the data analysis themselves. So think of non-software engineers, non-data scientists. But the core is, at the end, is going to be data and data products. So the data products could be the derivatives of the raw data using the different layers of AI that is applied.
So I'm guessing there's a subscription type of approach for users, and
Yes.
you make some of these public, or is it all based on subscription and account creation, and how does that work?
So right now we are we have really been thinking about this data for real estate transactions. So say you want to buy a new house, we can use this data to give you a report about that neighborhood, and we charge by address, okay? So that's the current commercial model. But there is a lot in this data that we can slice and dice to kind of make them maximally useful. Some of it could be, maybe it's a subset of some of the environmental health data could be useful to the public that we can make that happen. And those are the kind of this next level of iteration that we're going through now that the core of technology is a bit more stabilized.
Thank you.
Sure.
Did I understand correctly that you have 10,000 units on the street at the moment?
No, we have 5 and we will deploy the next 500. So the 10,000 is, if you wanted to do this for every street in the US, that's the number that it takes. So we're not talking about millions and millions of sensors to realize this vision. It's only 10,000. And when you think about the million plus Uber cars that we can recruit 10,000 to put this on, that's the approach.
And then how does the financing work on the hardware? Are you working with the drivers directly?
So we are working with fleet operators that serve Uber at this point, and we're just dealing with them. for the next round, which is a couple hundred units. But eventually we will get to the drivers, and it's a small monthly payment, just given that we're talking about a very small device that you install and forget, essentially. This is just a license plate frame, very well hidden.
And how would the data coming from the SenseBox differ from, say, telematics that already exists in vehicles? Like, would you not be able to get similar amounts of data from existing hardware?
Yeah, I think the most existing data is GPS and location right now, and that's almost perfect given thanks to everyone's phones. But this is every other modality. We're talking about sound, we're talking about visual data, air quality, even some like weather data, wind mapping. So everything that has not been measured and connected at scale, because the focus up to this point has been really the data for mobility. Right now, we're using mobility to get the data.
Okay. Got it. Thanks.
So this is super interesting. I think, so you've got a software application here, sort of like the data as a product, and then you've got the software as a product. Do you see yourselves leaning into or making choices between those two sort of approaches and kind of utilizing an off-the-shelf hardware long-term? I'm just kind of curious about decisions you'll end up having to make around which place you want to lean into.
Yeah, I think right now for the sensors, we really want to be a good integrator. We're not innovating on the sensors, but we want to make sure we have a good pack that gets quality data that is the measurement of actuality. So we're really not competing on that, and we're not selling the hardware. As far as the data goes, the way we're looking at AI for us is that this is a tool to make data useful to more people. So the data is just the data is APIs, but then the AI is a question engine that has access to this unique data. But we're not like training the next LLM here. We're training essentially a data analyst that could mine the data.
So if you put an air quality sensor on the license plate height from the road, what kind of air quality data do you expect to collect?
So, I mean, I understand that you would want it to be at the height of a person, and that's
you. You're saying that.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. But that's fair. I take that back. So from the data we have collected in LA, we're already matching, let's say, your purple air patterns. So we feel good about the data that we have collected. There's also this point of what about the emissions from the vehicle itself? So we do a lot of like signal cleanup in the backend to collect the data when the car is turned off to have it as the clean signal.